What's up, guys? It's Natasha from schoolofbots.co. If we haven't met yet, I'm one of the co-founders here. And what I wanted to do on today's video is actually share a new feature that just came in from ManyChat. So this is a way to see everything inside of your chatbot in a little nice visual map. So for those of you guys who are familiar with the Flow Builder from ManyChat, which is one of the top bot building platforms for Facebook Messenger bots, you can actually like map out specific messages that you want to send, but you can't see how they all connect to each other inside of your bot. And so that's ultimately what this bot map feature is. So I want to share with you guys what this looks like. I've had access to it for about a month now, and they just opened up the beta application. So if you guys want to apply to get access to it, early access, just look at the link down below in the comments. So let me start sharing my screen with you guys so I can kind of share a little bit more about this. I'm going to walk through kind of what a flow is as well. If you're totally not familiar with ManyChat yet, no worries. I'll show you kind of like what this is before we jump into the actual bot map. So I'm going to share my screen now, and hopefully you guys can see this now. Let me know in the comments. And this is what a flow looks like inside of ManyChat, right? So for those of you guys who haven't seen this before, this is where you can put all of your content, and don't get overwhelmed, but you can see all the different types of content that you can put here, from text to an image to a card, which looks a little something like this, right? And so this isn't a crash course on ManyChat by any means. So what you can do though is head to messengercrashcourse.com to get access to our free course and start understanding and learning this platform. But in the meantime, what I want to share with you on this video is actually how all of these different flows that you can build connect to each other. And if you already have access to this and you've started to play with it, let me know in the comments down below. It's a really fun feature. So this is a flow, okay? And then now what we move into is the actual map of the chatbot. So, whoa, this is a lot of stuff. And for some bots that have a ton of content, you might not want to do this for it just yet because it is going to take quite a while to load. And this actually took me about 30 minutes to all kind of like categorize. So I'm going to walk through creating a group, which are what all of these little gray squares are, and then how all the different pieces from your chatbot inside of ManyChat actually connect to each other. So let's do that together right now. So as you guys can see, I already have a couple different categories, and these aren't actual categories that you've built in ManyChat before. So this is totally new to where you would create something called a group. And so if I go over here in the left-hand column and click right here, you can see all the different things that I could create right on this map, because usually you have to go into different tabs and create these types of things. And to quickly just break down what each of these things are, a growth tool allows you to bring people into your chatbot, start a conversation from multiple different places. So you could create a growth tool right on this page right here. You could also create a flow, a sequence, which is just a couple different flows mixed together, kind of like an email automation sequence. Keywords, which would be words or phrases that your chatbot can respond to in ManyChat. Rules, which pretty much are automation, so kind of think Zapier, but inside of ManyChat. And then we've got our main menu, which sits at the bottom of the keyboard for a user. And then you can also add a note. So there's quite a lot of stuff that you can do right here. So what we're first going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And you can zoom in using, if you've got a Mac, your trackpad, or you can just use this little plus icon right here to zoom in. And so what I want to do is first create a group. So I'm just going to click on the group, and it's going to create it right here, as you can see. And we can actually make this a little bit bigger so we'll be able to see it and zoom out a bit. And then I'm just going to call this my test group so you guys can just see what this would look like. But ultimately, how we're planning to use this at our agency and for our clients is actually putting together groups for specific types of content inside of the chatbot. And to give you some examples of that, for example, we've got a group called customer support, right? So this might contain the FAQ. This might contain a flow where people can submit a question. And then on the other side of that, we might have certain lead magnets or campaigns that we're running. So you can see that we've got a whole group just dedicated to a webinar. So all the stuff related to a webinar would go inside of that group, YouTube videos, as well as our main lead magnet right now, which is our free crash course, which I mentioned, right? And so this is our School of Bots bot. So you can kind of get an idea of what this would look like for another industry or for your own company. So let's go into this group right here. And then what I want to do is actually create a couple things just so you can see what it all looks like. And then I'll show you how you can connect all of this. It's super fun, very visual, and it's honestly a really effective thing. It's not just like a bells and whistle, like, oh, this is so great. Like, this is actually really helpful for us as bot marketers because we'll be able to finally get a big picture of what the chatbot looks like. So I'm first going to create a growth tool. I'm just going to click in on this, and you can see there's all sorts of different ones. Now, this looks a little bit different from the regular creating a growth tool right now, if you're familiar familiar with ManyChat. So no worries, it's pretty much all the same stuff though, and you'll get used to this interface. And I'm sure they'll continue to update this. It might even bring back the old one in here. So we're just going to create a little website widget here. I'm going to choose a bar, which would be like at the top of a website. I'm sure you guys have all seen those on sites. And then you can see that this looks a little bit different from what you might be used to. Now, the main thing here would be to first set it up. And so when you click Setup Growth Tool, what's actually going to happen, which is really cool, is that now ManyChat has tabs. So as you can see here, I've got the bot map in one tab right here, all the way at the top. And then I've got an example flow, which we looked at a little bit earlier. And then I've actually got my growth tool here, and I could continue to open up new tabs. And if I go to the top right corner right here, you can see all the tabs that used to exist on the left are now available here in the top right. And I don't know if that's permanent. I'm sure they're just kind of testing out different spots where that could be. And they may even be split testing this. So yours might look a little bit different. But nonetheless, this is a really great way to do a ton of different things in ManyChat kind of all at the same time without having to lose your place. So if we come back into this widget here, you can see that we would set this up, and then I'm just going to activate it real quickly. Again, we will go through all this stuff in their own tutorials. So don't worry about like, oh my gosh, what do you do here and how do you set this up? Don't worry. We're going to go through all of this stuff in tutorials later on our channel. But right now, for those of you guys who are familiar with ManyChat, then you would understand that here we've got our widget, we've activated it. And now if we come back to our bot map, so let's head back over here. It should, or actually, I'm sorry, let's go back over here real quick and come into our opt-in actions. And so this is going to be the message that someone gets when they click on that website bar. You guys with me so far? So what we're going to do here is just select an existing message. I can literally select anything. So I'm just going to press this as an example flow. I'm going to select this flow. And then from here, now what we should be able to see inside of our bot map, and for some reason it's not showing up right now, that's okay. Usually it will show you, and this might just be taking a little bit because everyone's getting access to the beta right now. So again, I'll probably do an updated live in the future, but what you would ideally see here is where this growth tool is actually connected to. And I'll show you with some of my other flows here. We've got another growth tool here that's called the Messenger Ref URL. And so this is just a URL that someone can come into from your chatbot and then go to a specific conversation or go to a specific flow. And so you guys can see here, this is ideally what it would look like where you've got this growth tool, and then you can see that this specifically leads to this flow. And then things get a little bit crazy where you can see now that this is actually going in a couple different directions. So this is connected to this flow right here, and then that's connected all the way, and let me even zoom out so you guys can see this all the way at the top here. So that flow that we just looked at is actually connected to this message right here for this webinar group that we have. So as you can see, there's a lot of different like tangling that's going to kind of happen as you start to attach more and more things to each other. But it's pretty awesome that you can just see some of the, like, even from a bird's eye view, right? Like which of these flows happen the most inside of my bot? Clearly this one, because I see a ton of different growth tools and just lines pointing to it. And then same thing with this flow right here, right? You can see all the different gray lines pointing to it. And so that gives you a really good idea of how many different things you're using inside of your chatbot and what you might be overusing or what kind of format you've started to put together so that you can get a really good idea and understanding of how you actually build bots, right? Because after all, it's all about experimentation. So if this helps you find a better way, then amazing. So let's come back real quickly to creating a few things. So I'm just going to add a few more things so you guys can just kind of see what this all looks like. So if I click on the flow, let's do that. Then you can see that it immediately pops a little flow up right here, and it's actually going to open it up for me so that I can add whatever message I want to. So I'm just going to say hi as an example, and then I'm going to publish this. Always want to make sure that you publish before you head out of the flow. We're going to head back to our bot map, and then here you can see that now this flow exists. And then if we add a couple more things, let's say we want to add a sequence. So I'm going to add a little sequence right here. And then we could go in and set that up if we wanted to. I won't do that right now because I just want to show you guys all of this. I could add a keyword, and then we can, of course, move these around, which is really great. And then a rule will be our last one right here. And sorry, I keep zooming in and out because I am setting these up really quickly here. But these are all the different things that we would be creating. And then once we set all of these up, we could connect them to each other and again, start to map everything. So it's a really great way to start your chatbots out because then this way you can have a really good idea of what your chatbot's going to do over time, as opposed to now everyone who's getting access to it, but they've already built so much content inside of their bots that you've got to like go in and like organize all of your flows, which can be fun. But nonetheless, with new bots moving forward, I think this is going to be so, so powerful. And if you agree, drop a hashtag. I agree. This is going to be powerful in the comments because I'm really curious, like what your thoughts are on this. If you're already building bots inside of ManyChat, let me know how you think this is going to affect your bot building, and if you think this is going to be valuable for you overall. And the last thing that I want to do here is build a note or create a note. So this is going to be a little bit different from the notes that are inside of flows, if you guys are familiar with those. And let me show you what I'm talking about in case you're a little bit newer to ManyChat here. So if I click on this plus sign right here, I can actually add a comment to this flow, and then I could explain what's happening, for example, in this box right here. Well, inside of the bot map, these comments serve a little bit of a different purpose, which is that you're actually explaining what's happening inside of this flow, right? Or whatever you want to refer to. So if I just move this comment up here, or this note rather, since that's the terminology they want to use, then I could easily come into here and just edit whatever I want this note to say. And I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller. And so we could say this group serves this purpose, right? Just as an example, right? Like what does this group even do here? And then from there, you could actually make this bigger and it will expand this box right here. Unfortunately, they haven't let you like change the size of the text yet. So that's one piece of feedback that I do have. But other than that, this is really great because now you can see if we zoom all the way out, you'll be able to tell that there's a little note right there. Of course, once you're out here, like it's kind of tough to see anything that's closer. But as you start to zoom in, you'll see, okay, there's a note right there. I can go in and see what this is all about. And especially if you're building with a team, if you're building with a team, let me know in the comments because I think that that's one of the most under talked topics inside of the messenger bot world is like, how do you actually work with teams inside of chatbots? How do you deliver these to your clients, but work with multiple people on the project? And so these notes are going to be super helpful for just understanding what everyone else is doing inside of the chatbot. And I think we pretty much covered everything that I wanted to talk about here in the bot mapping. So again, let me know in the comments if you think this is going to be valuable, if you think this is going to be beneficial for your bot building processes. I'm really, really excited about this, and I'm going to continue to dive more and more into it, even though I have been this last month. But now that it's available, I can actually talk about it with you guys and hear your thoughts. So let me know overall your thoughts on this, and I'll probably do a follow up live maybe in a few weeks and talk about some of the things that I think could be improved, our feedback, our review overall on this. But I'm really excited for the direction that this is taking things in because if you're a part of the messenger bot world or have been building bots for a couple of months, then you know that there's not really a great way to build bots visually outside of now ManyChat's Flow Builder. There's BotMock as well as Bot Society, which are two great resources that I can point you towards that help you kind of create a demo, a map. But other than those, like at the end of the day, you're pretty much building a bot inside of them. And then you've got to move that to an actual bot building platform like ManyChat or like ChatFuel. And so because of that, I think that this is going to kind of eliminate the need for other platforms in terms of mapping out your bots. And you can use this and start to build skeletons in different groups to decide what you want inside of your chatbot. So overall, that's really why I'm excited about it. But I'm going to dive into all of the topics that I talked about on this video in other little micro videos coming up on our channel. We're really excited. We're going to be doing 3 videos a week for you guys. So whether you are a newbie and you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening right now? No worries. We're going to go into all these different intro videos on why messenger marketing is so powerful and all the different kind of introductory things that you need to know in order to start building bots and getting results for your business or your clients. And we'll also be going into some more advanced stuff. So if you're already a part of the bot world, such as Lucky, who is on this live right now, what's going on, Lucky? Then you are probably looking for some more knowledge or some more tips from people who are already in the bot world, but you want to know what other people are doing. doing, right? And so we're going to share all that stuff, what's working for us. We have a lot of really exciting case studies as well that are coming out, new ones this year. So I'm excited to share all this with you guys. So if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if this was interesting to you. And let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay what you think of this feature overall. Like he says, that's cool. When will it be released to the public? Beneficial for sure. Yeah, so if you guys want to sign up right now, as long as you have created an account on ManyChat, you can actually use the link in the video description to sign up for the beta through ManyChat's chatbot. Of course, they had to do it there. So if you do that, then you can sign up to get beta access. You can start kind of playing around with the feature. But in terms of when it's going to be released to the public, I'm actually not sure yet. I know that obviously their beta is going to last a couple of weeks so that they can just see how people are using the feature, get feedback, and all that good stuff. So I would like estimate that it'll probably be in the next 2 to 3 months, but I'm not quite sure. ManyChat's team usually moves really fast though, and they're very innovative. So I'm sure that it'll be released to all of the accounts soon. But there are some kinks that they need to work out, such as if you've got a bot that has a really big list with a ton of content, it's going to be a little bit impossible for the bot map to load. I'll just be honest, based on what I've seen. And so that's where it's not as ideal for bots that are already using ManyChat for them to all of a sudden be switched to this new interface. Right? So they've got to kind of ease into it. But aside from that, I see it coming up pretty soon in general to the public. But great question. All right, guys. Anat says, great video and just started playing with this feature today. That's awesome. Yeah, let me know what you think of it. Come back to this video in like a week after you've kind of played around with the feature and let us know what you think. Well, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope this was valuable for you. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button down below. Can't wait to see you guys in future videos. And let me know what you think of this future feature, tongue twister. Let me know what you guys think of this as you start to play with it in the comments down below. All right, bot fam, I'll see you guys on our next video.